Hey guys, Sean here with Raw Brothers, joined again by my brother Royal, and we're actually gonna get into some beginner videos for you guys this week. And we're gonna start with one of the most requested videos, which is footwork. We're not gonna do anything too advanced. We're literally gonna go through some beginner tips for footwork, to improving your footwork, being able to move around the ring, and being able to move while you punch. Let's get into it. So the best part about this video is Royal's actually got some fundamentals, but he's very much still new to combat sports. He's new to boxing, so we're actually going to see what a guy who's an expert in fitness, who has a physique, who has the physical ability to fight, actually learns some of the fundamentals. So in this video, we're going to walk through some of those steps. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get in our boxing stance, right? It's a traditional boxing stance. Royal, go ahead. And basically, Roy's got a great boxing stance. He's got good balance, right? He's not completely vertical. He's got good balance between both his feet. You want to make sure, especially for the sake of footwork, that your knees are slightly bent and you're slightly on the balls of your feet, right? You kind of want to be on your toes, not on your tippy toes, but you want to be on your toes so you're bouncing around well and you've got that balance down pat, right? And Roy's actually doing a great job of that. And the rear foot is always going to be a little higher than the front foot in terms of being on his toe, because everything associated with the rear foot is going to have a pivot to it, right? So Roy's actually doing a great job here of staying balanced. Now, here's what we're going to do. With boxing, the way it works is you want to make sure that whatever direction that you want to go in, you're going to be pushing off with the opposite foot. So if you want to go forward, you're going to push off with the back foot. So what Roy's going to do, he's going to take a step forward by pushing off with his back foot. So you're going to push off with this foot as you take a step, and then you're going to slide that rear foot back. But one thing I want him to do is when he takes that step forward is get right back into checkpoint. Get right back in position, right? You want to be exactly where you were before you took that step. So you're going to step forward, boom, and make sure you push off, get right back, same distance between your feet, same balance, same everything. Do it again, Roy. Let's go. Push off with your front foot, push off with the back foot, step with the front foot, and then slide that foot over. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Now you see when he's going back, he's actually pushing off with his front foot, right? When he's going backwards, he's pushing off with this foot. You push with this foot, and you take a step back with your rear foot. So do that again. Boom. Now go backwards. Now see one mistake that he made there when he went forward, he brought his feet a little too close, and he leaned forward a little too far. Right? So what you want to do is, you want to make sure that you're going back again, right back to checkpoint. So your upper body shouldn't really move. You just, boom, just your feet, right? Boom, just your feet. There you go. Bring it back. Make sure you pretend like there's a bar between your feet that won't let you go any closer to a certain point, right? So as soon as where you are now is where I want your feet to be when you land, right? So take that step, boom, better. Again, boom. Boom, there you go, just like that. So part of the reason that we're sliding is because everything in boxing, you're gonna have to be able to change in a split second, right? So if I'm coming at my opponent and he happens to be throwing, I might need to pivot out the way, right? So the reason you wanna slide is because you're not creating, you never wanna be in the air, right? You don't wanna just be in the air. You wanna have some level of groundness. You wanna be as close to the ground as possible. So when you do that step, you wanna kind of slide with it. Even if you do a little hop step, you wanna make sure that you're somewhat touching that canvas a little bit, right? So if you watch Roy, he's doing that slide well, and coming back, the most important thing is to come back to that same distance between your feet. That way you keep the same balance. Let's go.
Oh, sorry.
All right, one more time, let's go. It's part of the game. So what you gotta do is constantly drill these, right? Constantly drill these. The most important thing is you wanna take literally an entire round if you're just practicing footwork, right? Grab a partner, and you guys move together, right? So we're gonna go a few steps forward. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Right? Then we're going to do a few steps back. 1, 2, 3. And you're constantly going to be pushing off with the opposite foot. Alright, so next what we're going to do is we're going to practice the side step, moving from left to right. And it's the same concept, guys. Whichever direction you want to go, you're pushing off with the opposite foot. So we're going to start off by moving to the left and to the right, right? So in this case, let's go to the left. So if we're going to go to the left, we're going to step with this foot, but we're going to get that momentum going with the right foot, with the opposite foot. Remember, going left, use the right foot. Going right, use the left foot. Always the opposite foot. Same thing front and back, right? So we're going to push off with this foot, and we're going to step with this foot. Boom, right back in our boxing stance. right? And we're going directly to the left, right? So now we're gonna go to the right. We're gonna push off with the left foot, step with the right foot. So push off, boom, right? Again to the right, boom. Now we're gonna go to the left, boom. And again, right back in our boxing stance, boom, right? Every time, you wanna make sure you get right back in your boxing stance, push off with the foot, and again, drill them, right? Grab a partner and keep each other in check, right? Push off, push off, push off, left, right. Get that side step done really well because it's a good defensive tactic, right? This is something you want to get really good at because if a punch is coming at you, when you dodge, you don't want to just be able to stay here, right? You want to be able to step, boom, and come in with those punches, right? It's very useful to be able to move from left to right. So next we're going to practice moving diagonally. This is going to be important for those techniques that we discussed in some of the earlier videos where you intercept your opponent, right? Or where you want to step in and turn your opponent, right? So this is going to be very, very important for that. So let's actually take a few steps back here. And this you could do in reverse or going forward, right? And it's the same concept. You're kind of combining moving front and back and left to right, right? And again, same concept. Whichever direction you're going, the opposite foot pushes off. So imagine not that you're taking a step, but that you're pushing yourself in that direction with the opposite foot, right? So again, you're not just stepping, you're pushing yourself in the other direction. If you're in a proper boxing stance, this should happen very organically and very naturally because you have all that bounce in your step, all your muscles are engaged here, right? You're on your toes, so you should be able to push off and then step backwards, right? So in this case, we're gonna practice going to the left diagonally, right? And we're gonna push off. Since we're going to the diagonal left, we're gonna push off in a diagonal way with the right back foot, right? Since we're going forward and left, right? Picture it like a compass. If north is right in front of us, then we're gonna go northwest, right? So here we are, we're gonna take a step and we're gonna move diagonally in that direction, right? So we're gonna go northwest, boom, right? Right back in our boxing stance. And we're gonna do that again, boom, right? And now we're gonna do the opposite. So he's gonna push off with his left foot and he's gonna step with his right foot, right? And he's gonna go the other direction, basically the opposite of that, right? He's gonna go into the southeast direction, right? So let's do that. Boom, 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 right? And you see that little trip up there? He's actually doing a little hop step. What he's forgetting to do because it's a new direction is to slide, right? He's doing a little hop step. You don't want to do that, right? You want to make sure you constantly slide. Even if your leg, like you see my leg lifts off the ground, right? But I'm very close to the ground. The tip of my toe is still sliding across that ground. I'm not putting any weight on it in order to grip me up, but it's still sliding, right? You still hear it touching the ground. I'm still sliding all over it without really putting any pressure or weight onto the floor. And this is going to help you be able to reset whenever you want, right? It's very, very important to do. Those are the very basics of footwork. And we're going to add one more little intermediate tip, which is how to turn your opponent when you're moving around, right? So basically what you want to do is very much like when you're moving diagonally, right? You're not going to be coming straight at your opponent. It's very much like when you're moving diagonally, except what you're going to do is you're going to step with your foot and then use the back foot to swing yourself over, right? So you're going to step in on your opponent and then you're going to swing around, right? And then you will have that angle on them, right? So now Royal's going to do that to me. He's going to step in on me and then as he's stepping, he's going to swing this back foot around to land where he needs to be, right back in checkpoint, right back in his boxing stance. Ready? So step in and swing. Boom. Perfect, right? Perfectly executed. You see how he kept his foot down on the ground, he slid it over, right? And he got that perfect angle on me, right? And so what you want to do is you want to practice in the beginning with the step and swing, right? With the step and swing. Eventually what I want you to do is not to step and just swing, right? What you want to drill is you're here, right? So we're both standing here, and we're just going to step and swing, right? All you're doing is swinging with that back foot. And to do this successfully, you want to lift yourself up, put a little more weight on your front toe, right? On your lead foot, you want to put a little more weight on your toe when you swing, and boom, swing that foot over, right? Boom, swing that foot over. Boom, swing that foot over. Boom, swing that foot over. Now don't just go in one direction, right? You want to boom, swing in the other direction. Boom, swing in the other direction. Boom, swing in the other direction. So you want to constantly move, because that's going to help you turn your opponent even when you're on the inside, right? You would just boom, boom, and get them, right? Eventually you could add little hop steps into it. Eventually you could start doing little footwork tricks, right? Once you get good. But right now, focus on the basics. Focus on drilling these, which is what we'll talk about next. What you guys want to do is you can practice this alone in front of a mirror, right? Or just record yourself and practice your footwork by yourself, right? Maybe throw some head movement into it, which we'll get into the more advanced videos in the future. But what you can do with a partner is follow each other around, right? Pick rounds where one person leads and the other one follows, right? Just to get used to reacting to your opponent when they move, right? So just to give you guys an example, right? Me and Roy are gonna do it. We're not gonna separate it by rounds. We're just gonna show you an example of how it works, right? One person leads, one person follows. So if I step, he's just gonna step with me, right? And then when I step to him, he's just gonna step back, right? When I step and turn, he's gonna turn with me. If I step and turn again, he's gonna turn with me. If I step and turn in the other direction, he's gonna turn with me. And we keep that going, right? If I step diagonally, he's gonna step with me. If I go this way, he's gonna step with me. And this forces you to learn and gauge distance on how you're gonna walk your opponent down or get away from your opponent. And it also helps you react to your opponent when he starts moving their feet. A lot of boxers, like the guys that fight Lomachenko, aren't able to keep up with him. And the only reason is because they don't practice this. They don't practice this in training, so they see it for the first time in a fight, and they don't know what to do. You never want to be in that position. You want to learn every element of boxing. I don't care if your preferred method is to pressure fight, you have to learn how to fight off the back foot. I don't care if your preferred method is to fight off the back foot, you have to learn how to pressure fight. You have to learn how to do everything in the ring. Learn how to use angles, learn how to use your feet, learn how to implement defense with it. Practice every single element of boxing, and that's the only way you'll be a complete fighter. So you guys seen Royo mess up a few times. You guys probably seen a little rust on me, right? Guys, it's part of the game. When you don't practice, you don't perform. That's just how it is. So in order to be good at footwork, you have to practice it, constantly drill it. And in the next upcoming few videos, we'll actually dive into more advanced footwork techniques, as well as how to move your feet while punching, right? So look out for that. Don't forget to follow Royo on Instagram. Don't forget to check out the Fight Store. Both of those you can find with links in the description below. I'm Sean with Brawl Brothers. This is Roy Georges, and we'll brawl with you guys next time.